First things first, Jenna Wolf, Hall of Famer Chris Carter. This is our NBA guy, Nick Wright. Covers everything, but this morning we are focused on NBA because there's a lot of it to talk about. You got the Lakers drama, which is heating up out west. The Celtics' disappointing season is now officially over. But we got to start one particular place with the Rockets and the Warriors, and pivotal Game 5 for them. Let's pick this up late third quarter. Big scare for the Warriors when Kevin Durant goes down, grabbing his leg. Good news, it was not his Achilles, just a calf strain as is being reported. He would not return. Kevin Durant will have an MRI today. They'll wait and see what happens there. Fourth quarter, this was close. Warriors up 2. Draymond Green drills the 3, goes bananas afterwards. 15 seconds left. Warriors up 3 now. Klay Thompson nearly loses the ball, but there's Kevon Looney. Watch it, get it back, right back to him. Klay goes up for the layup. Warriors go on to win 104-99. They go up 3-2 in the series. Here's Golden State head coach Steve Kerr after the win.
If Kevin is out, then what you saw in the fourth quarter is what you're going to have to see going forward. We're going to have to find a way. But got it done today. I don't know if you're a soccer fan, but Liverpool yesterday came out with just one of the great wins in soccer history. And after the match, their manager Jurgen Klopp said, the young kids in Liverpool are probably asleep by now, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it, but our boys are giants. That's what he said. And I know how he feels, so I apologize to my mom, who is probably watching, but our guys are giants. Like, that was an unbelievable victory tonight. What's that? Yes, after dark. I'm a different guy right now.
All right, Nick, how'd they do it? How'd the Warriors beat the Rockets, especially once Kevin Durant left the game?
Well, if Kevin Durant didn't leave the game, at that moment when Kevin Durant made his first shot of the second half with a couple minutes left in the third quarter, the Warriors had squandered a 20-point lead. The Rockets had all the momentum. The announcers were correctly saying the Warriors looked totally sapped of energy. The Rockets were on pace. The trajectory was they were going to overcome that 20-point deficit, overcome the 14-point halftime deficit, and win that basketball game. And then Kevin Durant went out. They had the fourth quarter break to regroup, did the Warriors, and they instantly turned into the original Splash Brother Warriors. Draymond is doing his snarling, agitating, hitting open threes thing. Steph is running around screens, ball movement, ball movement, ball movement. They can attack you from any place. Their defense got better. Their offense got better. Steph was having a playoff game that would have trumped Game 3 on the list of worst playoff games of Steph's career. He instantly became Steph Curry again. And the Warriors, maybe out of desperation, maybe because it could have been the last game at Oracle, maybe because of the rallying moment of, I'm sure they thought KD might be done as a Warrior. It looked like to me, to I think a lot of people, he had popped his Achilles. Right. Turns out he hadn't. They came together and saved their season. Their season would have been over had they lost, so that's too strong to say. But they saved this game that the Rockets, it looked like, were going to overtake them, and they put themselves in a brilliant position, even without Kevin Durant, to be able to beat the one team that's given them trouble over the last 3 years.
Jenna, we talk about, of late, chemistry and how it's underrated. And when you have the type of organization that the Warriors do, and the type of players, and the level that they've played at for the number of years, you could see last night they dug into that treasure chest of experience that they've had. Like this group, as far as Iggy, Draymond, Klay, and Steph, they've been through some battles.
Right.
So not having KD on the court, are they not as good a basketball team? Yes, but they're still a good enough basketball team against this, you would think, Rockets team, to me, in the fourth quarter, it was challenged to be able to score the ball. Chris Paul, man. I mean, do you really have to worry about Chris Paul scoring the basketball? So to me, it was more about everything that we've been through. They put it on the line because their season was on the line. They could not afford to lose that game. Not knowing what the prognosis was going to be with Kevin Durant, not knowing if he had tore his Achilles or he had strained his calf. The players on the court didn't know that, but they did know if they lose this game, go down 3-2, have to go back to Houston, potentially without Kevin Durant, their season could be over with before they even get to Game 7 and able to utilize the home court advantage.
Let's talk a little bit more about Kevin Durant. Sure, they regained their composure, they figured out who they were, and they were able to win the game, as you mentioned. But now let's sort of spin it forward. How devastating would this be if Kevin can't give you anything else this series or potentially even further?
So Steve Kerr said after Game 10, Kawakami, listen, we're going to list Kevin as doubtful. He's not playing in Game 6. He said he won't even take the flight in Game 6. Chris, you've dealt with multiple calf strains in your career.
Yes.
You can... What would be your level of expectation for Kevin Durant even being available for a Game 7?
And it's a little bit different playing football because most of the football you're playing as a wide receiver, you're playing a little above the ground. Most football players, you're playing on the ground. So you don't have to elevate off of your toe. You're typically pushing off and going forward. So I believe, because I tore my left calf and then I tore my right calf later on in the same season, I'll be surprised if Kevin Durant plays any more basketball the rest of the season. And now that they're
rest
playing
of the season.
Yes, because I mean, yeah, I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised. I believe it's a 2 to 3 week injury. And if it's a 2 to 3 week injury, I mean, how effective is he going to be? And it's hard to get your conditioning because it's hard to get conditioning when your calf because it affects it. You can't do anything weight bearing. And you could see when he was coming off the court last night, and the reason why I thought it was his calf compared to his Achilles, because when you strain your calf, you always want your toe to be coming up, because when your foot goes down, it's not dorsiflexed, there's more pain in the calf. So when he was trying to pull his toe up going off the court, I thought it was going to be a severe calf strain.
So let's assume, at the very least, Kevin Durant's done for this series. We know he's not going to play in Game 6. We don't think he'll be available for Game 7. Yeah, the Warriors are worse without him, but as is, we know the case. Can they win without Kevin Durant? I believe the answer is unequivocally yes. I believe now they're the only team in the league still playing. If Dame goes out, Embiid goes out, Jokic, Harden, Giannis, Kawhi, any of the other guys, their team is sunk.
Done.
The Warriors in the last 3 years are 29-4 without Kevin Durant when Steph plays.
29-4.
29-4. That when Kevin Durant doesn't play and Steph does, they're 29-4. Now, they have some other limitations. I understand it. I'm not acting like they would be the favorites without Kevin Durant. But Charles Barkley, after the game, said they're done. If Kevin Durant's done, they are done. We saw what they can do. Steph, Clay, Draymond, Iggy. We know what that unit is. They flipped the switch in the fourth quarter. To me, they're not done without Kevin Durant.
Nick, I'm on the other side as far as we saw them finish the game, but they didn't have a full 48 minutes where I can game plan for them, and I know Kevin Durant is not coming back, and I don't have Kevin Durant who's going to put up those numbers to exhaust your defense. So Kevin had played more than a half of basketball. Now you don't have him for any minutes. And now my concentration, I can double team. I can trap Steph. I can force the ball out of his hand. I can do things. I'm not worried about anyone protecting the rim for them. And the reason why I don't believe in this theory either is their bench was better then. So you can look back at all those stats and everything. The Warriors had a good bench. So for me, a lot of those old Warrior stats, they're not relevant because their bench is not going to be there to be able to save them. Even though Sean Livingston is still there, he's not still the same player, and very little other help. So to me, I think when you can game plan, I think Houston has a huge advantage. I definitely thought they were going to win game number 6, and now game number 7. If they have one of the Splash Brothers off, they're going to lose game number 7.
Oh,
that's not a luxury that they had with KD.
They need Steph and Clay to both be on to have any chance in game 6 or 7. For the Rockets, though, they got to. I didn't get much sleep last night just because of the time of the game. The Rockets have to have gotten almost no sleep last night because of the missed opportunity. I know we're going to get into it more later. Yep. This was a golden opportunity. The Warriors could have blown this game open at the end of the first half. Could have been 30 points at the end of the first half. The Warriors went cold at the end of the first half, allowed the Rockets to stay just close enough. Rockets went on a run in the third quarter to tie it up. Then Kevin Durant goes out, and they can't close the game. James Harden is going to catch the heat. Chris Paul was the problem, and now they have back-to-back must-win games for their best chance to get.
Yeah, someone need to put out an APB for Chris Paul.
Man.
Find him, apprehend him, and bring him to the arena in Houston for game number 6, hoping that there is a game number 7. He was bad last night.
All right, the Golden State Warriors are without Kevin Durant now for the foreseeable future as this series shifts back to Houston for Friday night. We'll talk much more about that. Coming up, though, is there a new